Which, you know, but I will say, I was thinking of making a video on this. I'll talk about it now, especially because, you know, we're going to see if GW wants to continue with this female, you know, female Custodes malarkey going into Horus Heresy 3rd edition. They won't if they know what's good for them. But that said, you know, learning that GW farms out their CGI stuff, including their cinematics for new editions, to a company out of Thailand, tells me that my little pet theory that Tirith, the female custodian from the Tithes, was a mistake. That just lends more credence to it, especially if, you know, especially if something was lost in translation between GW and the animation company. Like trying to translate, you know, British English to I'm being an idiot right now. I forget what the hell language they speak in Thailand. Hold on. What language do they speak in Thailand? It's probably like Thai. They speak Thai in Thailand. Fucking duh. Okay. It wouldn't surprise me if when they were, you know, translating British English to Thai, if something got cocked up and made the custodian character female, and then GW saw the almost finished episode and just like freaked out and were like, okay, we'll try to push female Custodes as an idea. That's what I think happening. Like, that's what I think happened. And I've repeated this, and this is like the 4th or 5th time I've repeated this, but and this is what I've also said before, the whole thing in 10th edition with female Custodes made no fucking sense. New model, no female head option, no new art, nothing. It's like, we've had Custodes themed releases since then. We had the Joy Toy figures. We've got the Custodes and fucking Tacticus now. They're nowhere to be found. And then we had the Ultimate Guide, which called them male and parts of Brotherhoods, a masculine term. So it's like, yeah, it's like, what? It's so unbelievably confusing, you know, and trying to piece together, you know, when you piece together the timeline of events, it's like, this shit makes no sense. No matter how you try, like how they went about it makes no sense. To be frank, I just gaslit myself into thinking the Custodes was male voiced by Toby Longworth. I mean, when you get down to it, the Tithes isn't canon. Like no matter how you try to swing it, the Tithes just isn't canon. Or at least episodes 2 and 3 aren't. 2 for obvious reasons. 3 because, you know, that's not how the fucking Imperial Tithe works. Okay? They don't take ammunition from guard regiments in active duty. And if they were evacing, they'd take the guard with them. Look, I get, like, you know, Herder Grimdark, but the Grimdark has to make a degree of sense, you know? The Imperial Guard, if they were like giving up on that war zone, they'd evac the guard. You have examples of the guard being evac'd in worse situations than they were in that episode, in episode 3 of the Tithes. Like, even in worse situations than that, they are evacing the men as well as the material. The ammo episode was so awful. You know what? Honestly, I'll go out on a limb. Bullets. I think that was the name of the episode. Episode 3 of the Tithes was worse written than episode 2. Okay, hear me out here. All right, hear me out. If you turned Tirith
baby, give me some heresy.
Hey, Zeph, how you doing? But okay, now hear me out. If you turn Tirith into a man, it would be a good episode. Her presence is the only flaw. If Tirith was a man, episode 2 would have been good. But you would have to completely rewrite episode 3 from the ground up to fix it. If you see what I'm, like the degree of the problems is so much different. Like, a gender swap could fix episode 2. Everything else could play out the same, it would be fine. Episode 3 is fundamentally broken from its foundation. Her presence is redundant. I mean, yeah, when you get right down to it, Tirith is basically a side character in the whole story. The main character is the Sister of Silence, when you really get down to it. Like, I mean, remember, Games Workshop first advertised the 3 episodes. They advertised that episode around the Sister of Silence and tried to keep Tirith hidden, and then came out with an article when the episode about Tirith when the episode debuted. It was very clear they were trying to hide her existence up until they couldn't hide it any longer. You know, they were very cagey about it. You know, they were very like cagey and played her existence close to the chest. Like they didn't want to hurt their subscriptions to Warhammer Plus, knowing they would have to reveal this to try and get their money back on the episode. To be honest, the interaction with the White Templar captain would have been exact same if the Custodes was male, because Golden Boys are a very high horse. I mean, yeah, Vincam, it's also the fact that a lot of the Custodes hate the Space Marines too. They don't respect them. They don't respect anything about them. They blame them for what happened to the Emperor. Like, so, yeah, it's like, that's the thing. The writing for the episode doesn't come off like it was written to push a woke agenda, which is weird, considering what, you know, considering what the episode has, which more and more makes me believe that the existence of the character as female was an error on the part of the animators, and then they couldn't fix it. But the episode itself is less flawed in the writing sense than the guard episode in episode 3. And that's why I think the whole thing was a mistake. It doesn't come off like they were doing it with an agenda. If you're trying to add women to a faction that can't have women on a genetic level, you're not going to do it in a way that is not woke. You're not going to write it in a way that is anything but woke. You're going to wokeify the hell out of it. Look at how they did it in the Codex versus the episode. You know, with a fucking girl boss custodian thinking a blood game is putting a fucking virus bomb in the throne room. Like, holy shit, dude. And then not being, like, literally killed by her brethren for it. Like, that's not how the fucking blood games work. She would have been killed on the spot by the other Custodes. Like, that's basically a Custodes going traitor right there. But no, she's allowed to get away with it, and then she has everyone on her ship killed because she's having a huff over it. Like, holy shit. That's horrible writing, but that's what would have happened. Like, that's what should have happened. She should have been killed for doing that. But no, it's like she's like, well, you lost, haha, and they just leave. Like, fuck off with that. Fuck off with that.